Dr. Pete. Welcome back. We're in Module 4 now, Goal Setting. Having already now got our legacy established and those big picture life dreams, in this module we're going to set the concrete goals, the specific goals that we need to start focusing on in order to live those dreams and leave that legacy. In this section we're going to discuss goals and SMART goals and stretch goals and bucket lists, and then we're going to get into setting goals for ourselves as part of our life strategy across those 4 quadrants of our life: play, friends and family, relationships, and work. So join me now as we get into the next module on goals. Module 4, Goal Setting. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Tony Robbins. In Module 4, Goal Setting, we're going to take a look at what exactly is goal setting. We're going to have a look at goals, SMART goals, stretch goals, and mini adventures. We're going to apply goal setting to each of the 4 life strategy quadrants and do an exercise for you to set goals so that you can live your dreams. What is goal setting? Goals are the concrete and specific objectives that form part of our dreams. For the endless summer surfer, goals may be to visit specific countries and surf at specific beaches. What goals have you set for yourself to be able to live your dreams? Take a moment now and in your mind reconnect with those wonderful life dreams that you've just identified in the previous module. What are the next steps in those things? Start to consider the specific goals that you need to set. When we think about goals and goal setting comprises of the major component of personal development. Individuals can set personal goals. For example, an athlete might want to run 5 miles a day, or a traveller might want to reach a destination within a certain time. When it comes to life strategy, we also want to touch on the subject of bucket lists, because bucket lists have been made famous by some recent movies. Bucket lists are where people write down a list of life goals for all the things they want to do before they literally kick the bucket. SMART goals, stretch goals, and mini adventures. Some other important things to consider about goals are firstly, SMART goals. Goal setting ideally involves establishing specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded goals or SMART objectives. Stretch goals. Another important part of goals are stretch goals. And one of the defining characteristics of a stretch goal is that it is something that seems difficult or almost impossible to achieve. And finally, with goals is the area of mini adventures. And this is where we link a series of goals within or across those life quadrants together to create a journey of experience that may create greater engagement and inspiration for us. Life strategy and goal setting. Let's look at some goal setting across each of the 4 life quadrants. Play. Think about those life dreams you had for play. Let's set some goals for yourself to live this dream. And let's also think about what the stretch goals would look like. One of the goals I have in play is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. And my stretch goal would be not only to climb that mountain, but also 2 other big mountains across the world, all in the same year. What are your goals and stretch goals in the area of play? What about work? Think about those life dreams you have for work. Set some goals for yourself to live this dream. And also have a think about what the stretch goals would look like for work. For me, one of my goals in work is to work in a company that would help people. And a stretch goal for me would to become a partner or owner of that company. What about you? What are your goals and stretch goals for work? Let's take a look at relationships and think about your life dreams that you came up with for your relationship. Now let's set some goals on how to live this dream, as well as what some stretch goals may look like. One of my goals was to begin dating again in the middle of my life. And a stretch goal, of course, would be to find my ideal life partner and get married. What about you? What are your goals and stretch goals? Our last life quadrant is family and friends. And I want to reconnect with those life dreams you came up with for your family and friends and begin the process of setting some goals and stretch goals for living that dream with your family and friends. When I think about goals and stretch goals with my family and friends, one of my goals would be to go camping with my family during the school holidays. And a stretch goal would be to go overseas and visit several different countries with my family. What about you? What are your goals and stretch goals for family and friends? Goal setting, living your dreams, and selecting goals to focus on. Now that you've spent some time thinking about your legacy and dreams in life and developed some goals and stretch goals for each of those 4 life quadrants, let's select the goals you need to focus on for our next module, action planning. Exercise. Selecting goals to action plan. Take some time now and have a look at your workbook and complete the goal setting exercise for each of the 4 life quadrant areas. Note your goals and stretch goals and identify the current priority goal that you need as we conclude this module on goal setting. As always, I'll share the results of my exercise with you shortly. Welcome back. How did you go with that goal setting exercise? Goal setting is often a little bit easier for many of us because it's about specific concrete things that we can measure, that we can set down and work towards achieving. As you can see, my example is on the screen now. And what you can see there is when it came to play, I have some goals around climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, big goals, as well as the day-to-day I wanted to have weekend surf trips with my family. When it came to stretch goals, I thought about not only climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, but climbing some other big mountains in the world, all inside the space of 1 year. And another stretch goal I came up with was about fitness and about completing a half Ironman triathlon, which would be a big stretch goal for me. In work, some of my goals were around working in a company that helps people, having aligned values, and building and growing a business. My stretch goal, of course, was to become a partner or owner of such a company. With relationships, for me it was about getting back on with dating and meeting people and getting out and about so that I could, in my stretch goal, I could find my ideal life partner. And in family and friends, it was about going camping with family and friends during school holidays, having a work routine that allows that time, and building a network of close friends that I could engage in some of my adventure activities with. And my stretch goal, of course, was a big overseas trip across several countries with my family. The last thing in this section is the cross-check. Have a look at your goals now and have a look at how compatible they are with your dreams. Are they making sense? If you achieve these goals, you're going to live these dreams. As well as your legacy. Are these goals going to help you not only live the dream, but leave that positive legacy behind? Take some time to reflect on that and make any adjustments you need so that there's congruence, so that things match, so that by achieving these goals, you really will live the dream to leave the legacy.